Creativity is not a talent. It's a way of being. In the creative act, Rubin dissolves the boundaries between artist and human, reminding us that creativity lives not just in what we produce, but in how we see, listen, and live. It's not about being a painter, musician, or writer. It's about accessing presence. It's about being fully awake to life. We're not here to force brilliance. We're here to become available to it. Rubin challenges the myth of the tortured genius, suggesting instead that the artist is not the source of ideas, but the receiver. The work flows through you only when you're tuned in, when you slow down, when you trust stillness more than striving. He encourages us to return to curiosity, to not fear the blank page, but to welcome it like a portal. Not knowing isn't a weakness. It's the edge of discovery. When you create from a place of emptiness, what comes is honest, raw, and alive. Rubin teaches that the process matters more than the product. That success is not measured by numbers, but by how close we came to truth. This book isn't a manual. It's a meditation on intuition, on space, on being brave enough to make something that might never be understood, and on letting go of control long enough to receive what wants to be born. You don't need permission to create. You don't need a studio, an audience, or even plan. You need silence. You need awareness. And you need to care more about the message than the applause. True creativity begins when you remove the pressure to impress, when you detach from outcome, when you create because it's who you are, not because of who's watching. The greatest breakthroughs often come from the most ordinary days, because creation doesn't demand drama, it demands attention. Rubin reminds us that limitation breeds innovation, that rules can be useful until they become cages, that the most powerful art often comes not from mastery, but from play. When you allow mistakes, when you surrender polish, when you let things be messy, that's where the soul enters. The artist's job is not to control the world, but to witness it, to feel deeply, to notice what others miss, to turn the invisible into form. Creation, then, becomes a practice of translation, of energy into color, of silence into sound, of emotion into language. And the most important lesson, you are already enough. You don't have to prove your worth to create. In fact, the work is better when you stop trying to prove anything at all. The real act of creation is showing up, with humility, with reverence, and with the willingness to be changed by what comes through you. And perhaps the most powerful truth the creative act reveals is this: creation is not a luxury or a hobby. It is a necessity of the soul. It is how we make sense of our existence. When we create, we are not escaping reality. We are shaping it. Every brushstroke, every note, every word becomes a bridge between who we are and who we could be. Rubin invites us to redefine what it means to be creative. It's not about being recognized. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being original for the sake of standing out. True creativity is about alignment. With yourself, with the moment, with something greater than you. You don't need to wait for inspiration. Inspiration comes when you commit to presence, when you listen without rushing, when you make space in your life for stillness, silence, and observation. In a world addicted to speed and noise, the creator is the one who dares to slow down. Rubin reminds us that the creative process is sacred, that resistance, fear, and doubt are not obstacles. They are companions on the journey. They signal that we are close to something meaningful. The mistake we make is believing that discomfort means we're doing it wrong. But discomfort is often the sign that we are stretching, that we are touching something real. The creative life is not linear. It spirals, it pauses, it contradicts itself, and that's okay. The act of returning to the work, day after day, becomes a kind of spiritual discipline. You begin to trust the unknown. You begin to feel safe in uncertainty. And you learn that even when nothing appears to be happening, everything is shifting. This book teaches us that creativity is an invitation to deepen our awareness, to sharpen our perception, and to let go of needing to control everything. When we stop trying to be creative, we begin to create, not from ego, but from essence. And in this space, you realize something profound. The work you do doesn't have to be big to be important. The smallest creative acts, a gesture, a photo, a whispered idea, can ripple through the lives of others in ways you'll never see. The impact is not always visible, but it is always real. So what's stopping you? Perfection? Judgment? Comparison? Let go. Start before you're ready. Speak before it's polished. Share even if your voice shakes. Because the world doesn't need more perfection, it needs more truth. And in case no one's told you, your voice matters. Your way of seeing the world matters. There is room for you in the creative landscape, but no one can fill it but you. So show up, sit down, begin. And if this video awakened something inside you, if it reminded you of what you once dreamed of becoming, don't let that spark fade. Subscribe to the channel. Join us every week as we decode the ideas, tools, and mindsets that shape greatness, not through force, but through alignment. Like this video, share it, and come with us on this path of awakening your fullest creative self. Because creativity is not something you find, it's something you remember.